How are you?
I'm okay.
Yeah?
Yep. Living the dream, as they say.
Living the dream. I think it's supposed to be a sarcastic response.
Yeah, it is kind of.
It can't have a sarcastic response.
It's just life happens, things happen.
Yeah.
Try to work your way through it the best way you possibly can.
I gotcha. What have you been up to? Anything new going on?
Nah, man, it's been the same old, same old. Go to work, pay bills, and have a little money left over just to do what you need to do.
Yeah, I know how that is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before we started recording, I got a email from my car insurance saying it's going up about $50 next month. Yeah.
That sucks, man.
Yeah, not a good time for that not a good time for that to be going on. Actually, it's really annoying because I had just paid off my credit card.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm working on paying off the last bit of student loans that I have in the next month or so.
I know you still have student loans.
I do. I've had it because the pandemic came along and they froze the payments.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, so I didn't really worry about it too much. But now I gotta pay on it some more, and I'm down to like the last couple $100 on it. And it wasn't.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, it wasn't a big loan to begin with, but it's still something I was chipping away at, and it's to the point where I'm like, you know what, I can just pay it off in like one or two things at this point, one or two payments at this point. And so I'm planning on I'll have some extra money in the next couple of months, that I'm not paying towards a credit card or a student loan. That'll be nice. And then here we go. Car insurance is like, hey, you got some extra money? You gonna have some extra money soon?
Let me get that off your hands real quick.
It's expensive taking care of you if you get into a car accident. But I haven't had an accident in over a year. Yeah, well, it's just in case.
Can you imagine that times 10? Having a kid?
Oh, jeez. No.
This is everything costs money. Cars cost money. Houses cost money. Kids cost money. Marriages cost money.
Oh, yeah.
Everything costs money. I was watching the little interview with this football player. I know you might not know him. His name's Cam Newton. And he did an interview with this lady, and she was a therapist.
Yeah,
and he has 8 kids by three different women.
I saw a post about that,
and she was just explaining to him. Well, he was explaining why he doesn't get married, and he doesn't because it costs financial. The financial gain from it and stuff like that.
Yeah,
they're more higher rate of divorce than it is marriage. So marriage scares them.
Yeah,
understandable.
Having 8 kids doesn't.
But having 8 kids doesn't. And there's more financial beings with that comes with that than it is from being married.
Yeah.
Because once you're divorced, that's it.
Yeah.
You don't never have to see this person ever again.
Right.
You go your separate ways, you have your memories, and that's it. Now, it might cost you some financial money because you got to go through divorce, you got to go through the lawyers, all those different things. You might have some stuff taken away.
In the case of if you're a little bit, like a rich and famous football player.
Exactly.
Prenups, you had one or you didn't have one, that kind of situation.
But if you're scared of that, why are you having 8 kids?
Yeah.
Because there's even more money involved in kids than it is in marriage.
Right.
Once you have a kid, that's like a bind.
Well, especially with different women. It's it's like with Nick Cannon too. But
yeah.
Nick Cannon has a different
interview with him too.
Oh boy.
She did an interview with him too.
I think Nick Cannon has a different philosophy about that, but
which is still silly.
It's silly.
It's still silly.
It's definitely silly, but geez.
Because she got him straight because you can't have a relationship with all these kids.
No.
Someone's gonna get abandoned.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Someone's gonna be and this is rough for me. Having a kid way over in Michigan and trying to spend time as much as possible.
Yeah.
How can you do it with 8 kids?
Yeah.
There's no possible way you can do it.
No.
Or 11 kids.
Yeah.
And it's just what are we doing?
You can't. Yeah, because how do you schedule things, especially if they're all roughly around the same age, which I imagine they would be because they're 8.
Yeah.
There's 8 of them, right?
There's 8 of them.
There's got to be at least 2 or 3 of them that are a year or 2 apart.
I'm not throwing any shade or casting aspersions on him. I'm pretty sure he's a good father.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, there's a little bit of being selfish,
right?
That you're being, and also, sometimes we all think that being there, being present, means going to football games and basketball games and all this stuff, which is important.
It is important.
Because you want to see them to go to those type of things. But
there's more to it.
There's more to it. It's like being there.
Yeah.
you're your father, my father. He knows he knows you when he sees you.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I know, you know when your dad was coming home.
Yeah.
You know when you was gonna wake up. You know what time he's gonna wake up. You knew what time. Hey Jacob, everything's okay with you.
Yeah.
You know your facial expressions.
Yeah.
He knows when you're happy. He knows when you're sad. Like those type of things matter. And I think people don't take that into account when they have kids sometimes. So it was a good interview though.
That's
cool.
Good.
Yeah, I think it was kind of eye opening for him.
And what? Who interviewed him? Who was the interview?
I have to get the name. I'm about to Google it right now. She did a really, really good job with the interview. And like I said, she wasn't trying to be negative or anything. She wasn't trying to say he was trash or anything like that. She was just trying to help him understand.
Right. It was a conversation.
Yeah,
a civil conversation. Most of the time, that's the more helpful thing, right? Because if you're going to sit there and you're going to argue with somebody, they're going to be less prone to hear you and understand where you're coming from. But if you have a conversation, you're like, oh, hey, do you not realize that that's your strategy, but it might not actually be a good strategy, Yeah,
and like the interview was like very positive. It ended on a positive note. Her name was Dr. Bryant.
Dr. Bryant.
And he was trying to be jokey and kind of what you call it? Because when you're in therapy, that's what you do.
Yeah.
Because when you're in therapy, you kind of feel like you're backed into a corner because you're about to be told off about yourself.
Right.
So you're trying to make jokes to kind of liven it up.
Yeah.
But she did a good job of centering it right back into the middle. I was like, yeah, that's how therapy goes.
Oh, that's good.
That's how it goes. But it was a good interview. I would definitely endorse you to watch it.
Is it like a YouTube thing, or is there?
I don't know if she has a YouTube channel, but she's definitely like a well-renowned therapist.
Okay.
From the land of the rising sun, Jugabin James, a podcast, very good. Listen all time. Pedodina Godzilla.
I want to start the main portion of the show off with the email, James.
Oh, okay, nice.
We got an email from Zach.
You've got mail.
Zach?
Yes, he emailed, and Zach would like to know. Well, here, let me read it. He said, I saw recently they're going to reboot the Creature of the Black Lagoon movie and saw a mixed bag of reactions to where some were saying another reboot, but others were also saying, like, oh, it's old, so it's fine to reboot. He says he's in the camp of rebooting older movies, but he wants to know our opinion on rebooting over older movies. And it reminds me of the Nosferatu trailer we were talking about with them rebooting Nosferatu, right? Nosferatu is like about 100-year-old movie almost at this point. Or maybe it is. I can't quite remember.
No, you're right
now.
I think you're right.
But we were talking about, oh, they're rebooting that movie, but it does fall in the camp of it's okay to reboot because it is such an old.
It's such an old movie. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Creature of the Black Lagoon.
When did that come out?
It's around the Universal Monsters times, right? So,
oh, okay, yeah, that's.
I know the black and white days for sure.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's nothing wrong with that. Because I feel like that's a movie that has always needed to be done. Because we've had plenty of Dracula movies, we've had plenty of Wolfman movies.
Okay, 1954. Was when it first came around. Creature from the Black Lagoon is a 1954 American black and white 3D monster film.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I mean it's old enough, and I think they've been trying to make another Creature of the Black Lagoon. Yeah, Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Well, wasn't that movie that Guillermo del Toro did? Wasn't that kind of like a
Shape
little bit
of Water?
Shape of Water?
That was supposed to be like his kind of version of it.
It's a good movie too.
And then like a few years ago when they were trying to set up the Dark Universe with Dracula and his hold, and then the Mummy.
Yep,
the Mummy reboot with Tom Cruise. That was supposed to be their beginnings. I think they were planning on a Creature from the Black Lagoon movie, along with like a Bride of Frankenstein. I don't know. Let me see. I'm sure
Frankenstein is another movie that's been done
because they got as far as like casting people. Like I think Johnny Depp was supposed to be the Invisible Man at one point. Mm-hmm. Okay, it says, in March 2012, Universal announced that a remake was in production and would simply be titled The Black Lagoon, rather than Creature from the Black Lagoon, to distinguish between the two versions. In October, the studio hired David Kajganich. Yeah, Dave Kajganich to write the film. The film was expected to hit theaters by May 2014, but was ultimately canceled. In 2020, Universal was considering Scarlett Johansson and Chris Evans for a remake. So I think that was for that one, That might have been the Dark Universe days.
All right, it makes sense.
Yeah. Because The Invisible Man came out in 2020.
Yeah.
Right? And The Invisible Man was a great movie. And I think they're doing a sequel to that. I think they're doing The Invisible Woman.
But that one was a little bit different. That one was like, the monster universe.
Yeah, that was like adjacent to it.
Yeah, that was adjacent. I think the next one that we get is going to be another. Because there is supposed to be another Invisible movie coming out, Invisible Man movie. And that was going to be more towards the 1930s version.
I see.
Which I love, by the way.
Yeah.
It's a good film.
I really like that other Invisible Man movie, though.
No, I like that one, too. That was good, too. Yeah, I enjoyed that one.
Yeah. It was really thrilling and whatnot. And just before the pandemic, too. It came out at the right time.
Yeah,
for movies, especially, like, how everything got impacted afterwards.
Yeah.
Perfect timing for that movie to come out.
But I mean, there's nothing wrong with doing that movie because Creature of Black 1950s, no one's gonna watch a movie like that in 1950s.
Yeah,
I would
style movies.
Yeah, I mean, I would because I like movies like that. But I understand, like movies like that, I don't mind. But when you're doing movies that came out in
10 years ago, 5 years ago,
maybe even 30 years
15,
ago,
yeah,
it's like do I really need to see another movie like that?
Right, because you're thinking like, what's the point of watching this if they're just gonna reboot it again? Yeah. The sequels and reboots are never ending, it seems, and I think people are finally kind of getting tired of it.
Like Ocean's 11, that movie came out in 1950s.
Yeah,
with, the Rat Pack. So I was totally okay with that. So I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Well, I don't think many people know Ocean's 11 was a reboot.
A lot of people didn't know that.
They think George Clooney is the first one.
And that one, honestly, if you ever watched the old school version, I like it because who was in it.
Similar.
Yeah, well, it was very, very vastly different.
Yeah,
I honestly don't even like the original story. That's one of the cases, and that's another case for you doing a remake of some of these movies.
You got to update the story.
Update the story because that story that came out with Ocean's 11 was hot. That was awful.
Yeah,
that was just pure piss poor awful. But but Ocean's 11 with George Clooney was a lot better.
Mm-hmm. Did you ever see Ocean's 8?
Yeah, I saw Ocean's 8.
How was that? Because I know like
they
had a weird cast, right? Because
what
was it? Sandra Bullock?
Yeah, Sandra Bullock, Kate Blanchett,
Aquafina. Back when she was still doing the black voice.
Yeah, Rihanna.
Yeah.
I was like, all right. I feel like they were trying too hard with that one.
Yeah,
I mean, I enjoyed it for what it was worth, but I was just like,
at least they tried to make it fit in the universe, though, right? Because
it was
like
in the same universe.
Or a cousin.
Mm-hmm. That was a sister.
Yeah, so you got to give them credit for that. I mean, at least you try to make it fit within the universe.
Yeah, without a doubt. So I definitely don't have a problem with reboots. How about you?
I mean, I think I agree. Like with the older films, like the black and white movies, or even like the silent movies, I think those are fine to reboot. I mean, I wouldn't reboot Psycho. Because Psycho's been done and
so many times.
At this point, it's just a reboot of a reboot. Like, did you ever see the Bates Motel series?
Yeah, I saw it.
What did you think of the Bates Motel?
I thought it was okay.
I enjoyed it, and then I read about how the show ended, and I was actually really upset. And I don't think I finished the show because of it. Because Rihanna was in that as well. I think they had her be the main girl who gets killed off, but in the show, he doesn't kill her off. I think she gets out or escapes or whatever. And I'm just like, how are you gonna change the most iconic scene of one of the most iconic films
and have her escape?
Yeah,
that's stupid.
Like, really? But it was a good show, and then, Vera. I think who's the mom's name? Vera Farmiga.
I think so.
Something like that. She's got a name.
She's Latin.
Yeah, Vera Farmiga.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She's. First of all, she's really good about playing like these villainous kind of characters. She was, I mean, the more mainstream audience would know her from the Godzilla King of the Monsters movie because she was the mom. She was the eco-terrorist.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I love her. Yeah, she is a good actress. I like her. She's in the movies, the what's the name movies? The freaking Amityville.
She's in Amityville?
Not the
The Conjurings.
The Conjurings.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
She's in the Conjuring series.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, and she was also in Godzilla.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think that's her most mainstream thing. Yeah, I forgot she's in The Conjuring. She's the Conjuring. The psychic wife or something, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I like her. She's very good.
Yeah, like you said, I think older films are fine and okay. I think some movies you just can't touch though, because like Jaws.
Oh no,
you couldn't touch Jaws.
No. You
Jaws
can't touch Jaws.
It's too hard to reboot.
Hell, they could even touch it with the sequels. Steven Spielberg had to stay away from those.
That is true. Jaws 1 and 2 are really good.
Those are really good, but once you get past that
3, 4, no.
Because even what's the name didn't come back. The original cast member didn't come back, and then they put Dennis Quaid in the fourth one.
That's right, because he played a son, right?
Yeah, I think he played a son.
Sons. Yeah.
Like, oh god,
you can't touch Jaws. I think Back to the Future has it in their contract where it's like it can't be rebooted.
You can't reboot it. That's why you've always seen. If you've seen different movies, little things taken apart from it.
Yeah.
Which is very smart by Robert Zemeckis.
Yeah, for real. Because I mean, Back to the Future is such a classic. Like,
that's my favorite movie, man.
How do you redo that? You know,
it's my favorite movie of all time,
and especially now because now we know what 2015 looks like, as opposed to what they thought it would look like in the film, and it's like I don't think it would work.
I love Jacob and James on the go podcast because I can like listen to it in the car or at home or like on the go. It's just super easy. You know what I mean?
As far as that goes, that's always been that way. I remember 1930s. Remember how they used to always say the future was going to look like this in the 1950s and stuff, 1960s. Yeah. I love that type of architect.
The retro future.
I'm moving ahead of time. I'm sorry. Because it's another subject I want to talk about, the Megalopolis thing.
Oh, well, I'm glad you brought that up because I was also going to get into that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, let's just walk into that segment. So, Megalopolis, what did you have to say about it?
Well, you've seen what happened with the trailer. You seen the trailer, right?
Yeah, the AI trailer?
Yeah.
The AI quotes?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just looking at that last night. Well, they took the trailer down.
They took it down.
I saw. I didn't see the trailer, but I saw they had taken it down because I guess they put it through an AI machine and it was like generating these fake quotes and stuff like that.
Because I had saw the trailer when it first came out last week, and we had done the podcast, and I totally forgot about it.
I didn't even notice it last week.
Yeah, it came out last week, and I totally forgot to talk about it. So when I saw the trailer, I was just like, they brought up all these movies from directors such as this.
Yeah.
This quote came from these different directors. I'm like, what are we doing?
Diminished by its artness.
Yeah, I was like,
what Pauline
the hell
Kael
is
of The
this?
New Yorker. Yeah.
Like, honestly, I bypassed all that because I thought it was kind of cheesy and stupid. But when I actually saw the trailer itself, it actually looked kind of good. I was like, oh.
The movie looks interesting.
Yeah, it looks very interesting.
It looks very interesting. I'm excited to see it. I mean, there's been some weird things on set with Francis Ford Coppola.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. There's been rumors that he's been like kind of touching people inappropriately.
Yeah, I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, I don't know really how far it goes or what. I mean,
men
obviously,
and women,
huh?
Men and women, touching men and women.
I think the lady actresses, the lady actors.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't hear about that.
But yeah, so I guess they use AI to generate their reviews.
Yeah, I don't know why would you want to do that. I don't really see the.
Because again, like everyone's just trying to figure out what to use AI for, and it's like we're just in that awkward time period where, I mean, it's still very noticeable. So when people use it, it gets called out really fast.
Oh yeah, you can always tell.
And that's good. It's good people are calling it out, but the problem is at some point it's not going to be as noticeable.
No,
you know.
Like I thought it was so weird. That's all. It didn't tick me off. I didn't feel no other way about it. I just thought it was stupid. I was just like, okay, can we just get the trailer? What is the trailer about?
Yeah, it was a really dumb decision. But I had that piece to talk about, and then there's another piece of the Megalopolis story that I was going to touch on, and that's an article I saw from Deadline where Francis Ford Coppola had mentioned that he quote unquote didn't want Megalopolis to seem like some woke Hollywood picture or some woke Hollywood production, so he casted canceled actors. Canceled actors being Jon Voight,
Shia
LaBeouf, and I think somebody else or something. But yeah, I guess it was just big. It's very weird, right? Because like his movie is not woke. He's not saying his movie's woke. He just doesn't want people thinking his movie is like a quote unquote woke production.
Why would we even think that?
Right. Like why?
That's weird. Why would you even come out and say it?
Well, I think it's a result of like when a movie comes out, that seems to be the first thing people say. It's like, oh, they made it woke or whatever. And so I don't know. It just seems like a weird. It seems like a weird reactionary, pre-reactionary take. You know,
very stupid.
And I mean, it's fine. Like I didn't know Shia LaBeouf was canceled.
Yeah, he was.
I didn't really. I mean, Shia LaBeouf has always been kind of like
canceled.
up and down. You know what I mean?
I really don't want to say canceled with some of these people.
Right.
Jon Voight was just saying a lot of stupid ish.
Right.
Okay. People don't understand the power of your words when you say stupid ass stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the difference. Shia LaBeouf was canceled, I think, because of the
battery
whole
and assault,
situation.
Yeah.
I mean,
kind of like the Johnny the Major situation.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, that's called accountability.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's not called being canceled.
You take accountability, you go away for a little bit,
yeah,
and then Francis Ford Coppola comes and gives you a movie.
And he's already, he's apologized. He's done the work. Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
And I'm happy that he's back. I'm happy because he's a very good actor.
He is a great actor.
I love watching this guy act, man.
Yeah, he's a great actor. He just with social life, he's got a lot of issues.
He had to get it together.
But Disney kids, most of them didn't come out unscathed.
Yeah, that's true.
Let me see. Yeah, it says Shia LaBeouf, John Voight, Dustin Hoffman.
The hell was Dustin Hoffman wasn't canceled?
It's in this article.
What the hell did he do?
I don't know what he did. It's hard to keep up sometimes.
I just feel like you sitting up here talking about you putting all these canceled people in your movie. I just feel like, bro, we don't need all that.
Yeah.
Like just make the damn movie, bring it out, put it out to the public. We'll rate whether we like it or not. We'll show up whether we like it or not. You better hope this is a win for Lionsgate because they've been trashed for like the past couple weeks now.
Yeah, that's true.
They've been struggling. So
that's true.
You better hope this movie better work.
Right.
That's what he better hope.
Right. And John Voight wasn't really canceled. I mean, he's
a jackass.
He's a supporter of President Trump, and people don't like that. But that's not cancellation.
But it's not. You know it's not just him being a Trump fan. He said some disparaging crap.
Oh, did he?
About slavery.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And about black people. I'm like, no, like you're a jackass.
Wasn't that a few weeks ago? Because there was something about Angelina Jolie doesn't talk to him. She's his daughter.
She's been stopped talking to him.
Yeah.
Like, no, he's a jackass. Well, I was just like, you need to get this done for Lionsgate.
Right. But, also Aubrey Plaza's in the movie, Chloe Fineman, Lawrence Fishburne, Jason Schwartzman.
So the movie still has woke people in there.
Yeah, quote unquote woke people.
Yeah, because Aubrey Plaza is quote unquote woke.
But I mean, I don't know. Like, I just wish people would stop using the term woke. It's such a blanket.
Between that and DEI, I'm just done, man. I'm just done.
Because it's just like, you didn't have to do this for your movie.
You didn't, and it's a kind of a turnoff if you keeping it real. If I'm keeping it real with you,
a little bit,
it's kind of a turnoff. Like, bro, this just bring out the movie, man.
It's just a weird statement to make because it's not like it's not like he said I'm setting out to make an anti-woke film. He hires specific people, so it doesn't seem like a woke.
And the anti-woke people they're not gonna watch the film regardless.
They're not gonna watch.
They're not gonna watch the film.
I mean, honestly, not a lot of people are probably gonna watch this movie because it's such a weird artsy movie.
Artsy fartsy movie, as they call it.
Fully funded by Francis Ford Coppola. It's his baby. It's his project. If he loses money on it, it's his money. It's not the studio's. So it's balls to the wall. Whatever he wanted in the script in the first place.
Yeah.
So I think eyes on this film are gonna be very minimal.
Very.
It's probably going to be a great movie.
I heard from what I've heard, some different sources, this movie could be a complete disaster.
Yeah.
This movie could be a complete damn disaster. I remember when it was coming out and we talked about it.
Yeah.
And it sounded interesting. But even then, a lot of people were kind of apprehensive about it.
It's super experimental.
Oh, yeah.
Right. The concept of it is just like super futuristic city. But also it's like modern day, but it's like Roman times. Like there's a lot of elements going on here.
These directors, they like to put their own little spin on stuff. And, man, they can mess up some stuff.
He's got a lot of names in there. He's got Giancarlo Esposito, Adam Driver, Natalie Emmanuel. I mean, he's got a lot of people on the.
I'm watching the
roster
film
here.
Like I said, I'm watching it, so it's
yeah. So
yeah, you don't have to say all that, man. Just shut up and bring the film out.
Yeah, sometimes directors and producers and actors just kind of shoot themselves in the foot.
They do.
You start making comments, and then people start judging the comments, and it's at a certain point, it's like you just got to not listen to them and just watch the movie and judge it for what it is.
Judge it for what it is.
And that's just how you got to do it.
And the sad part about it, he says anti-woke, right?
Yeah.
Shia LaBeouf is dressed up in drag.
In the movie or just in general?
He's dressed up in drag. That's him.
Oh, all right. That's okay. Interesting.
This is just, man.
But is Shia LaBeouf okay, let's move on from this.
Because we can talk all day on this stuff. Because this is just idiotic, man. This is so stupid.
I don't know. All right, yeah, we'll move it on. We can talk all day on this, man. We got a trailer park to visit here.
I love Jacob James Podcast. You can Jacob James Podcast don't go anywhere down the place. You know Jacob James Podcast don't go home, just in the car, in the prison, you wouldn't go in the house, grandma's house, mistress's house. You know Jacob James Podcast anywhere, man. It's the best dang podcast you ever gonna listen to. I don't care what no one says. It's a good podcast. Go Astros. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Joel, and my hairy friend next to me is the Monkey. You might know us from the Joel and Monkey podcast. School season's right around the corner. We know that all of you are getting ready for your back-to-school shopping, because like all great people, you waited till the last minute to do it. But don't let all the hectic and craziness of the back-to-school shopping get to you. Make sure you have a taser in your repertoire. Is someone arguing with you about whether or not you should be parking in the handicap spot? Tase them. Now the handicap spot is yours. Someone took the last Sonic backpack? Tase them. Now that backpack is yours. Oh no! Long lines. Tase everyone. Now you're ahead of the line. But using a taser doesn't just stop with your shopping experience. It can help with your school experience too. Is your kid being bullied for being a senior in high school with a Sonic backpack? Tase those haters. Is someone arguing with your kid on the playground about Shadow being cooler than Sonic? Tase them. They're wrong. Shadow's nowhere close to being as cool as Sonic. Did some evil, rotten, no-good teacher give you homework for the weekend? Tase that fool. How dare they give you weekend homework? Is the principal trying to keep you down by telling you shouldn't be tasing people to solve your problems? Tase him too. He's not your mom and dad. Who does he think he is? So this year, make sure you're doing your back-to-school shopping right, with a taser at the top of your shopping list. Stay safe shopping, and have a great school year. Joel and Monkey is not responsible for a taser-related incident. Joel and Monkey does not encourage people to tase random strangers at school or outside of school premises. Joel and Monkey is not paid for or sponsored by Big Taser.
First trailer that we're visiting today, James. I'm saving the other one for last because obviously it's the bigger one. I don't know if you've heard about this, and actually Joel had to remind me of this because it's quite interesting. Amazon Prime is doing a anthology-like series called Bonus Level or Secret Level. Have you heard about this at all?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
All right, so you know Love, Death, and Robots?
Yeah.
On Netflix. They got the same people to come join Amazon, and they're making a Love, Death, and Robot style show based off of video game characters. So you're going to have different episodes with like Pac-Man, Warhammer 40,000, Mega Man, God of War, Kratos, all these different kind of like games, Dungeons and Dragons, The Outer Worlds, like stuff like that. And they're going to be, I'm assuming like 5-10 minute episodes or whatever of like bonus level. It's called Secret Level. So take that for what you will, but if you have a chance, just watch the trailer real quick, and then we'll come back and you can tell me what you think of it.
So I just saw the trailer, and so basically it's like a TV show, you say?
Yeah, it's a TV show,
and it's combining all these different, PlayStation games of the past, all in one show.
Yeah, well, it's like an anthology. So every episode is going to be like a different video game. Like Love, Death, and Robots was every episode was like kind of a different.
Which I did
different
like.
Story or theme, or like Black Mirror, right? Black Mirror was kind of an anthology as well. Like every episode was a different cast and different story going on. So yeah, they're adapting Mega Man and old
Kratos, yeah,
old games, new games, and stuff like that. It looks really interesting. I think it comes out in December, so we'll see how it goes. I mean, Amazon's hit and miss with their streaming shows. So it'll be interesting to see how this one comes out, and it seems like Amazon's really trying to gear up on the streaming.
Yeah, I just hope it doesn't turn out to be something like Ready Player One type deal.
It doesn't look like it. Ready Player One was just Easter egg after Easter egg.
It was, and I loved it, but because it played a purpose in it.
Right, but this one, it seems like each episode is going to take the focus and kind of really concentrate on like one character and just have a little story. And then if they get a season 2 or whatever, maybe you'll get a continuation of like whatever little adventure, or you do different characters, right? Maybe you partner up with Nintendo and you do Legend of Zelda and Mario and whatnot. Maybe you partner up with like Nintendo, do Mario, Pokemon, stuff like that, or like Xbox, Gears of War, you know, you can do Dead Space. There's a lot of things you can do with this. And with it being an anthology, you're not really subjugated to one series, you know, by itself. I thought it was kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it looks interesting. I'll take a wait and see approach from. I like to see a little bit more of a bigger trailer.
That's fair.
To give a full synopsis.
Yeah, I mean, this was like a teaser, right? So.
Yeah, I need a full trailer.
Yeah, and then the next trailer we have today, James, which is probably the biggest source of news this week. You know, we're as you might have noticed, dear listener, we're kind of paddling along here, but the biggest piece of news we have is the Sonic the Hedgehog 3 trailer came out. Have you had a chance to watch it?
Oh yeah, I saw it.
All right, what's your opinions? What do you think?
Oh, I love it. It looks amazing. It looks right in line with the first and the second one. I tell you, boy, they did a really good job with these Sonic, this whole Sonic trilogy.
They really have.
They really have. They really hit it out the park.
Yeah. My question to you is, do you want this to be the last one? Should it stop at 3? Or...
It probably won't.
Yeah, it probably won't.
So
in all fairness,
it doesn't really matter what I would want, but because I know they're gonna keep doing it anyway.
I know, but you know,
I mean,
we're opinionated people. What's your opinion on it?
I mean, yeah, it can keep it going as long as you keep the same heart, the same story,
right?
And you know, it makes sense to keep going with it,
right?
You know, it's turned out to kind of be like a Fast and the Furious type deal, but a better version of Fast and the Furious.
Well, I mean, the ridiculous makes more sense with animated hedgehogs.
But you know, this is actually a really, really good storyline that's going along with it. Now, here's my deal with Sonic, and I'll probably going a little bit fast forward. So I'll tell you what, I'll let you say what you think about the trailer first. I'm sorry.
I think the trailer looked good.
Okay.
I like the Shadow the Hedgehog elements.
Me
because
too.
they're taking a lot of elements from the Shadow the Hedgehog game. Like there's a lot of scenes, like a lot of things that he does that I'm like, oh, that's from the game. That's from the game. That's from his backstory. You know, they're really getting it accurate. Like the whole Maria situation.
And that's what I'm about to ask you. I was like, do you think they'll go that dark with this? Because we know how. Because you know, if people don't know the story, could you explain to people the story behind Shadow and Maria?
Shadow is a space alien, hedgehog space alien thing. He's not a clone of Sonic. He's like some sort of alien, and you just kind of have to go with it, right? It's the logic here. So, I guess at some point he gets captured by the government, the Earth government or whatever, back in the 50s, or the story is usually like a long time ago he got caught. He was being kept in the space station, and while they were doing tests on him or whatever, Maria, this little girl who lived on the space station, who was Dr. Robotnik's like daughter or niece or something, he had grown attached to her, and then there was a horrible accident and she ended up dying. And then Shadow is kind of a pseudo bad guy. I don't really I only know the story from the Shadow the Hedgehog games.
Yeah.
I think there's like a Sonic Adventure 2 or whatever that originally introduced Shadow, and it was a similar backstory. So
I don't see them going that dark with it though.
I think they will.
You think so?
I think so.
Oof.
Because there is a scene in the trailer where it shows like Shadow and the old Dr. Robotnik over, you know, maybe a body, maybe Maria, or I mean, I guess you could replace it with somebody else, but I don't think you would.
I could say if they go that route,
dark.
That'd be pretty cool if they can go that route.
Yeah, because I mean, it's not super dark. It's not, you know, horrendously dark for children.
It's not.
No, it's no darker than old school Disney movies with, you know, them killing off Bambi's mom. You know what I mean?
There's nothing wrong with that. But you know, the last two Sonics have been pretty lighthearted.
They are, and this one looks pretty lighthearted as well. It looks a little bit like grander in scale.
Yeah,
because
that's true.
You know, there's actual stakes in this one. The stakes are a little bit higher in this one. But at some point, they're teaming up with Dr. Robotnik.
Yeah, like they spent some money on this one.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about them teaming up with Robotnik, but I have a feeling he's just going to betray them really fast.
You know it.
You know, he meets like the older Robotnik, which I assume is like his grandfather.
Yeah.
You know, like an ancestry type situation. So I imagine them two are gonna team up and try to like double cross Shadow or something. Or, you know, obviously Shadow is probably gonna end up joining Team Sonic by the end of this. But
Think so?
I think so, but he might not. They might not follow that pattern. Shadow's not Sonic's friend. Shadow is his own entity. Shadow's got his own team.
It's not like Knuckles and Sonic.
You're right. They're rivals.
Yeah, they're rivals.
They're rivals, and they're less friendly with each other. I mean, obviously Sonic wants to be a friend, but Shadow is kind of like, you stay over there. I'm gonna do my own thing, and I got my own team. And
have you ever been a big Sonic fan?
Yeah, when I was younger, I was like really into Sonic.
And then when you got older, you just really like, yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, the lore is kind of just all over the place.
Yeah.
And
Chaos
then
Emeralds and stuff.
Chaos Emeralds, and you know what I was really a big fan of was the Sonic Underground TV show.
Yeah, I was too.
Where he had like the brother and the sister, and they were in a band. And
yeah, that was cool.
Wacky as hell. It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't.
But I like that version of Sonic, and we have not gotten anything like that before.
I like that version, but I also like the second version. I know a lot of people didn't like that one, the one that came on ABC, where he had like a gang. Yeah, he had like a beaver. He had a fox. He had a girlfriend.
Oh, okay. I don't think I've ever seen that one.
And that was when Dr. Robotnik was like really in his bag, and you really found out how evil this guy was.
Yeah.
And he created all these different monstrosities.
Oh, wow.
Like, yeah, he was in his bag in that one. He used to come on ABC. You should look that one up. That one was really good. That was a really good show. I think it stayed on for like 1 or 2 seasons. And I really, really enjoyed that show. It came on ABC on Saturdays.
It was just called Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah,
1993. Okay,
yep, that was the one I'm talking about, because you had the other version of Sonic where it was just him and Tails.
Yeah,
and that one was like really more campy.
Well, there was like a Sonic X, Sonic
X came late. That came later, like in 2000s.
Yeah, that was also a weird one.
Well, it was like anime. It was like anime.
Yeah, it was like anime style or American anime.
And then that's when he came to the city, the real world.
Yeah,
which was that was our first taste of seeing.
Yeah. Kirby had a show like that too. Kirby had a show where
Kirby had that too. I never was a big Kirby fan though.
Me neither. I mean, the games are fun, but I never I tried watching the show and I was just like, I don't know what this is.
Yeah,
the games are kind of neat.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, the movie, the trailer looks good. They probably. So let me ask you this: do you think it hits $1 billion?
I don't think it hits $1 billion. I don't see it hitting $1 billion.
You know what? It comes out the same day as another movie too, which I don't know why this movie's not moving this date, but it's very stupid why they're not moving this date. Let me see, but I think it might hit $1 billion. I think it might.
I don't know. I don't see it hitting $1 billion.
If it is as good as we think it will be, and by it being on such a proven IP, that's why I think people will be like, oh, okay.
Yeah, but this is also like the third of a series that's been coming out pretty consistently for the last like 4 or 5, 6 years.
True.
It's not like Deadpool and Wolverine where it was kind of an anticipated team up.
It's not, but this is the most anticipated we've seen because we wanted to see something. We wanted to see Shadow. This is what we wanted to see.
That's fair. That's fair.
Like, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, this is a proven IP, and you know that it works. So it's not like, oh, I'm going to show up, I might not show up. Like, everybody has fundamentally said these movies are good.
Well, the first movie did $319 million at the box office.
That was pretty good.
It's a third of the way there.
Yeah. And we know why the second one didn't do that much good. Because of COVID.
Yeah. Did it come out before? No, it came out after COVID.
Came out after COVID. But Foster comes out the same day as Sonic.
The second one did $405 million.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I see this. I don't think it's going to make $1 billion. I see it pushing. If we're going to follow the pattern here, I see it getting up to like $800 million.
That's pretty damn close.
It's close, but I don't see it hitting $1 billion.
We'll see.
I mean, if it does, cool.
We'll see.
I mean, I have no skin in this game.
Oh yeah, we both don't. But I just like to see movies do good.
Yeah.
And for a consistent trilogy, like a consistent franchise movie that has done good, I hope for the best. Because if this third one is as good as I think it will be, this will probably be one of the third or fourth franchises that have had a trilogy that actually was good all the way through.
But it's going to kill Mufasa though.
It's going to destroy Mufasa.
Got no chance. Mufasa barely had a chance standing on its own.
Oh my goodness! I think they ought to move that date.
Yeah. Someone's gonna move.
Somebody got to move.
Either Sonic's gonna move up or Mufasa's gonna move back.
Well, if you're Sonic, you're like, why should we have to move? We have a proven IP.
Exactly.
So we know people gonna show up for us.
You would think Disney would probably also feel the same way almost, right?
Because the Lion King, the first Lion King.
They both have quote unquote proven IP.
True.
So, it's just a waiting game at that point.
And then you got Kraven that comes out. It comes out December, which I want to talk about that too because they messed themselves up. They messed themselves up big time because
by pushing to December.
They had a chance to come out this weekend. Nothing comes out this weekend.
Yeah, you're right. When did the Crow come out? Crow came out last weekend.
It came out last weekend.
That's what came out last weekend. Okay.
They had this much. They had their shot. They had their shot. Like I don't know why would you move this to December. I'm like you could have made more money on Labor Day.
Yeah.
Than anything because you would have owned September.
You're right.
You would have owned the.
Well, that's why I'm surprised Beetlejuice isn't coming out this weekend.
Yeah.
I could have swore Beetlejuice would have been coming out because like all the promotion for Beetlejuice has been ramped up.
True.
And I was like, man, this movie's got to be releasing. No, it's next week.
Well, the thing about it too is, I mean, the last movie that came out on Labor Day that was really profitable was Shang-Chi.
It's been a couple years since then.
It's been a couple years since then. That movie did gangbusters.
Yeah.
But it's been proven that if you can come out on Labor Day, you can make some money.
Yeah.
You can, and I think Kraven could have made some money, some serious money, because you got to think about it. Kraven coming out during the Christmas time, and it's such a violent rated R movie.
It's not a Christmas movie.
It's not a Christmas
family movie.
You got your shopping during Christmas time. So it really has to be a movie that you can take the family. You got people coming from vacation.
Yeah.
Your family, your dad, your parents are coming.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, Jacob, let's go see a family movie. Cool. Let's go see Kraven.
Yeah.
Let's go see Kraven.
Go see Kraven.
Oh, man. So, yeah, we'll see. But yeah, everything was good, man. Trailer was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it looks great. I'm not for sure how I feel about Keanu Reeves actually voicing Shadow.
Oh, you don't like it?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, when I heard him talk in the trailer, it just didn't really sell me on it.
It sounded like John Wick to me.
Yeah, exactly.
It sounded like John Wick.
Exactly. I don't know. I mean, maybe in the movie, as you hear him talk more, it might get better.
Yeah.
But I was really just like, this is Keanu Reeves as a hedgehog. This is what this is.
Well, you know,
and
me, I'm a big fan.
And the funny thing is too, like, I don't know. The voice of Sonic is like some comedy writer.
Yeah.
And he sounds like Sonic would sound like. Even Idris Elba as Knuckles.
Oh, it works.
It works perfectly. And Idris Elba is at least like throwing on an accent, or he's doing something to his voice to not make it just be, hey, I'm Idris Elba as Knuckles. You know what I mean? And Tails.
Tails, yeah.
Yeah, Tails sounds like Tails, or how I think Tails would sound like. And Keanu Reeves, I was like, okay, I can see him being a Shadow type. But then when he spoke that line, like, oh, you're a colorful bunch.
I did like that line.
It's a good line. It didn't hit me as like, oh, that's Shadow. No, immediately I was like, Keanu Reeves.
I understand that. I can probably get behind that. I mean, I've never been a big fan of his voice anyway.
Yeah.
I've never been a big fan of his acting. I've never been a big fan at all.
Right.
Like, I've never been a big fan of him. It's just, every time I hear him talk, I just think of a surfer dude.
Yeah.
I think of that, you know what movie I think of?
Bill and Ted, yeah.
Bill and Ted,
yeah.
And he's done a good job of spacing himself away from Bill and Ted.
Very good. Even when he had that third movie come out.
Yeah.
Nobody remembers that.
Yeah, no one remembers that. So I know, don't get me wrong, he's done a good job of spacing himself away from that. And he's done some pretty good movies since then.
Yeah.
But I just never been a big fan that much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, he is like an antagonist in this, so
yeah, he is.
He's not the main character.
Which helps a lot.
It does help a lot. And I'm sure in the final product it'll be fine. But I mean, again, we'll kind of see when it comes out.
True.
So, but that's all I got to say about that one. Is that all you got?
Oh yeah, that's all I got.
All right, cool. Well, hey, that's all I got for today. That's all I really had stacked. We talked about Megalopolis. We answered an email. We discussed Sonic the Hedgehog and some other miscellaneous items. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want to email us like Zach did earlier in the show, you can email us at onthegopod2023@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from any other listeners out there. Not that we don't like Zach, but some variety would be cool.
A little bit of variety.
Yeah, just email us. Send us an email. Even if it's like, hey, how are you? Or like, tell us you like the show or whatever. Like little one-sentence emails. That's fine.
Lie to us.
Yeah, lie to us. Tell us you hate the show. Let's become enemies.
There you go. Let's just create some controversy.
So again, that's on the go pod at onthegopod2023@gmail.com. You can find us on Instagram at onthego with Jacob and James. It's all one word. You can find James on Instagram at
James9794.
You can find me on Instagram at jacobdantone.audio. You can also find us on YouTube. It's on the go with Jacob and James as well, all one word. Like, subscribe, ring the bell, do all the things you need to do to keep us in your lives. We got episodes coming out 2 days a week so far. And we'll see you next time. I'm on the go. James is on the go. We're all on the go.
Thank you.